important reminder. All information and ideas are for informational purposes only and are in no way intended as medical advice or as a substitute for medical counseling. Earthshift Products, Dr. Robert Cassar, all of their partners, affiliates, and subsidiaries will not be held accountable for the use or misuse of the information presented therein. This information is not intended as medical advice. The authors, publishers, and speakers of this work are not medical doctors and do not recommend the use of mineral-deficient foods, drugs, or medicines to achieve beauty and to alleviate health challenges. Because there is always some risk involved, all persons involved with the development and distribution of this information are not responsible for any adverse effects or consequences of any kind resulting from the use or misuse of any suggestions or procedures described on our website or Earthshift Live radio talk show or therein.
Now, when we at these levels here of what's called the pyramid, and you can see the base of the pyramid is only at the bottom because that's the majority of people. Do you know that 50 million people in the United States, just the US, 50 million people are on antidepressants? Some of the names are Prozac, Zoloft, or Paxil. Now, antidepressants are telling you that one of the reasons being why, remember, health, wealth, happy, because you want happiness, so what do? You go to the doctor and you say, I don't feel good, doc. Okay, just like a lot of people come to me and they say, and by the way, I don't practice anymore, so please, we get a lot of requests for private consultations and everything. The private consultations is us figuring out the new moves and to bring a line of efficacy that we feel, like all these products that you see on the table here, these are years and years of investigating, flying around the world, meeting people, and doing the research personally with all of our friends and contacts, patients, everybody. You become your own teacher. You become your own experimenter researcher. And as I know, and as everybody that we contact in this, what we call the Alkaline Lifestyle Challenge, you will share, and you will. I'm saying right now, I know you will, because once you change and you have the best secret in town to tell, you'll want to tell your best friend, because the best friend is where you share your secrets to. And if that's true, you're going to want to see some of these secrets, some of the lies, some of the deceptions, and you know, this is what we call truth, lies, secrets, and deceptions of each ring. So the bottom now pyramid, you'll see 80% of the population, there's all this disease. Remember the obesity, the ADH, okay, the children that have all these different types of neurokinetic problems. This is this group. We go up to the next group, and the next group only exists because everybody starts out in the standard American diet, and they get somewhat ignited somehow. They get sick, or they just don't, you know, food doesn't work with them at this level. They're sick all the time. They found out through somebody else that there's a better way. So what do? They go to the next section. It's called healthier foods. So healthier foods is a whole step up. And this group is actually igniting itself because, remember, we're the sickest nation in the world at this time. $2 trillion a year spent, and we're the sickest nation in the world. It's either a good business here, either that, or we're doing everything wrong. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. All we know is that there is a massive problem, and we see this insanity. Part of your sanity, just by the way, is for you to be able to see the insanity. And once you see the insanity, you're going to want to step up to the plate and go to the next ring. And you can't jump from here to here. I know you may want to, and you've heard of people, you know, saying that, hey, I jumped up such and such. Well, maybe they can, but I wouldn't suggest it. I would suggest going through each one of these categories when you feel you're ready to go to the next one. And there's actually hundreds of things that you're going to exchange. That's why we call this the exchange program. And the exchange program, remember, has to be easy. It can't be hard. Come on. We're already dumbed down enough with aluminum and everything, mercury, lead and tin in our mouths. We're taking super, super slow vibrational foods that make us slow and vibrational, instead of higher vibrational tunes that make us faster, quicker, and smarter. So really the big idea is to be able to get a big overview. Remember, we're going to go all the way out to the cosmos, and that's really far. The galactic center, remember, is this big, huge ball, and it runs the show. I always say this again. Who runs the show? You run your show, most likely. But we're going to show you that most likely, maybe you don't. Maybe there's some parasites behind the veil. Maybe there's some weird corruption that you just sidestep. Don't complain about it. It's only here for a reason, is to teach us. I look at where we're at today, is we're in the best school in this sector of the galaxy. And we're learning right now. Remember, 100 years ago, we were just playing around with some very simple technology. And as you can see, in 100 years, not only have we destroyed pretty much a lot of the planet, but we have come huge bounds in the technological world. Look at this video camera that's videotaping us at this time. This camera, when it first came out, used to be this big, and no one could afford them except for the big movie companies. Now you've got these little tiny ones about the size of, you know, a dime that can go on a door that can do surveillance. You've got satellites that could actually read half-inch print from the sky. So when we really look at the cosmos, we look out there to see that this is a magnificent game. And remember, there's 100 trillion stars in our little galaxy, as there's 100 trillion cells. And then we come all the way down to the present self, and we see this reality that we see. And we look and see that, hey, spiders and snakes and birds and trees and snails and whales, they all have certain sizes. What a genius level. What if the spiders were this big? You may not want to go outside, because a trapdoor spider may pull you in its trapdoor. And well, they do eat blood, actually suck blood. So you can see how whatever put this creation together is not genius. It's above our capacity to be able to believe and see. So let's go down again, down to the micro level, and that's part of the game that we're going to be talking about. It's called the micro world. And the micro world's a cool world because you can't see it with your eyes. It's invisible. Remember, that's that ascension. It's called the ether world, or the ethereal world, the world of the invisible. And if that's a true world, then let's put our glasses on, let's look in our microscopes and check it out. You know, there's a scope called a macroscope, and I had this when I was a child. Very cool thing for your children, and actually, you know, we're all children. It's a cool thing for you to buy. You can buy one for about $100. And you'll see that this macroscope is a good way for you just to be able to look and see, because macro means that you can still see it with your eye. Micro means you need aid. You need to have some type of spectacle, some prism glass to be able to expand what is invisible. And all of a sudden you go, whoa! Now, the macro world, take a spider, like, for example, because we talked about that trapdoor spider. Get a small spider and just look at it. Look at a small cricket. Look at a pill bug. Look at anything that's small and just blow it up 75 times and check out this creature. Now, let's look and see. That's a whole other part of what we want to talk about. Remember, the big picture here is from micro to macro. Really macro. From microcosm to macrocosm. From the smallest of smallest of smallest. And it goes down, remember, not even the micro world, it goes down to the nano world, really small. And then it goes down to this other world Stephen Hawking and different physicists will tell you about, is the imaginational quark level, or this area of nothingness, because everything really, when you get that small, turns into this weird, invisible, shape-shifting reality. Now, we're going to come back to the present, and we'll start a new sector here, and we're going to start clean by going over the pyramid here. But this is a good little introduction for you to be able to see that the picture is big. Don't get confused. You'll be able to pick where you want to be and actually go. You want to go to college? It's only because you know that college courses are there for you to take. And then when you get done with college, I want to go to professional school and maybe learn some more. So we're going to show you a very big world, but like I said, don't get confused. One step at a time is the game. Baby steps. And once you see that baby steps is the way, take little steps. One little one at a time. And we've got a lot of these steps figured out for you. You may want to just take one pan across here and just look and see. We're going to talk about all this too. These are just some of the products that we have here at Earthshift. Remember, Earthshift is a wholesale superfoods, organic superfoods, and essential tool company. It's for you to grow. It took us years to crawl up this trail to be able to get into these areas of organic superfoods, heirloom foods, and living foods. And of course, most importantly in time, nutritional medicinal foods. Talk about, remember, feeding the brain, feeding the organs, feeding the glands, feeding the nerves, or just this machine, the body. We'll be back and start over with a segment. We call these segments documentaries. And like I said, if you don't think that you're really in this world of change right now, then after you see some of these things, you may have your world rocked, because now you've got a different idea of where you may be able to go, and you can't do this by yourself. Remember, the largest clinical study of its kind means that you must take a friend with you. And in fact, you should actually entice your whole family, because this is a family deal. It's a family affair. We want to be able to expand, remember, what we do know and expand what we don't know, and we want you to be able to share your transformation. That's it. You get wholesale superfoods, essential tools, and you can see optimizing your health and wellness is the key to playing this game. We'll be right back.